Hi everyone, today we are replanting our brassacre seedlings, and that can only mean one thing. I think we have eradicated our vole problem. So last time where I left you guys off is we had just set up our mouse traps for the voles. We had caught one that I explained, and then at the end of the video I also had a little clip where we caught the second one. And now it's been a few days and our total count is up to 4, and it kind of seems like that might be all of them. So what happened was we caught that first one immediately within like half an hour of setting up the traps. We took it out and reset the trap, and then about like 20 minutes later we caught a second one. At that point it was starting to get dark, so we just went in for the night. The next morning we came out and we found a third vole in a trap. We took that one out, reset the trap again, and then a couple hours later during the day we went to check in on them again, and then we caught our fourth one. And then ever since that morning we haven't caught any other ones, and we also haven't seen any other signs of voles. So before we had caught them, sometimes when we would go walking in that area we would hear some scurrying or some rustling, so we had a pretty good idea that there were additional voles that we hadn't caught yet. But now we've been there a few times and we haven't seen any signs of any voles being there. I've also left my remaining plants uncovered for the last couple of days, and they're still there. They haven't been eaten at all, so I think we've gotten all the voles that were living here for right now at least. Also, what I thought was interesting was that out of the 4 voles that we caught, they were all caught on this side of the shed. So we had a trap here and a trap here, and we caught 2 voles per each of those traps. We had set up traps along the back area here and on the other side of the shed around there, but none of those actually caught any voles. And the ones that we did catch on this side, these were the ones where the tunnels were going straight towards our garden. So it does make me feel a little bit better about having to trap and kill them, because I know for a fact that they were traveling on their way to our garden. So at least we were able to prevent them from doing that. And we actually still have our traps set up right now. We're just gonna keep them there at least for like a week or so, just in case there are any lingering voles that come along. So you can see we actually ended up moving our 2 other traps back here, but we haven't caught anything in this area. So we'll leave them there for a week, and then, you know, if nothing happens, we'll probably put them away until we see any new voles here. I was also really surprised that all the voles we caught them so quickly. It wasn't even a full 24 hours. I mean, the 4 that we caught, since it was the first night and then the next morning, it was all within 18 hours. That was when we caught all 4 of the voles. As for future voles, I don't know if we have any plans right now to try and like prevent any of them, just because that would be something we would have to continually do. I think we'll just look out for the signs of damage, and if it becomes an issue again, we'll know what to do. So yeah, that's the plan for right now. It seems like we didn't have too bad of an infestation. I know it could be a lot worse than the 4 voles that we caught, so thankfully it seems like we caught it pretty early and we're able to get on top of that. And yeah, I'm just hoping that more voles don't end up here again, but at least if they do, we'll know what to do and we'll know what kind of damage to look for. So now it's just time to move forward. We're going to plant some new plants today that I picked up from a local nursery. So that's what we're going to be planting today. So again, here are the 3 varieties that I picked up. I have a cabbage, a cauliflower, and a broccoli. And I've never grown any of these varieties, but what's good about buying from a local nursery is a lot of times they will cater the varieties that they grow to your specific area. If you're going to a big box store, I'm pretty sure like the chain throughout the entire country will sell the same varieties of each type of crop, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for your area. So hopefully buying from a local nursery means that these varieties will be good in our area, and we'll just see how they do. So for the planting today, we're going to try and plant the new plants kind of around where the surviving plants are. So I have 1 broccoli here, and then at the very other end of the row is where I have Napa cabbage. So I think what we'll do is we'll just plant the replacements around here, fill up this end, and then fill up the other end around there too, and group those together. Then I'm going to have all this extra space in the middle here, so I'm thinking that we can just direct sow some zucchini in there and like summer squash, that type of stuff. The spacing is going to be a little different for those, and I'll show you the varieties that I'm going to be planting there as well. And I think that's going to be perfect as far as timing, because I believe our last frost has passed like last week. It doesn't look like we're going to have another frost. I think it's going to be a good time to direct sow the zucchini. But first we're going to go ahead and plant the brassicas, and then I'll show you the zucchini after. So we have transplanted our brassicas and now we're going to be direct sowing some zucchini in between. These are the 3 varieties that I picked out. These are the ones that I grew last year and really liked. So I have an Emerald Delight, which is a green zucchini. Then I have 2 yellow zucchinis. This one is called Golden Zucchini and this one is called Golden Glory. 2 of them are hybrids and one is an heirloom. This is the heirloom one. But I liked all of them pretty much equally. They all produced really well. So I'm probably going to do like 1 or 2 plants of each. We'll just have to see how much space we have. So the holes over here, we spaced them 18 inches apart, but for zucchini, we'll probably want to do like every other hole and kind of stagger them between the 2 sides so that they have more space to grow. And I think this is going to be perfect because last year I did fill this entire row with zucchini and it was way too much. I had no business planting that much zucchini and we're not going to repeat that this year. So this is going to be good because we'll only have like half the row filled with zucchini and the other half is the replacement brassicas. And the first time I planted out the brassicas, I showed you how I set up these hoops and covered them with that frost fabric. And this is going to be perfect for the zucchini as well because I like to cover them until they start blooming. And this helps protect them from squash bugs and vine borers. And that really helps in the early stage of the development. Last year it worked really well. I don't think we lost any zucchini to vine borers actually, which is like a miracle. And then later in the season you do get squash bugs after you've taken the frost fabric off. But protecting them during that early stage helped a lot. And it's like the only year we've actually been able to grow good zucchini. So I think it actually works out that we'll be able to use half the bed for the squash. So yeah, we're gonna see how much space we have for these and we're gonna direct sow those now.
Want me to say something? I come up with nothing. Maybe we can talk until we figure out a topic. Been so long in my head, caught up in my feelings.
All right, so everything is replanted, sown, and I watered everything in. I'm gonna cover it back up with the frost fabric and let's hope everything survives this time.